One particularly harrowing night, Nkechi woke to find Chidinma standing by her bedside. The girl's once lively eyes were now hollow and dark, her face pale and sorrowful. "Auntie Nkechi," Chidinma whispered, "why did you not keep your promise? Why did you let me suffer?" Nkechi screamed, her heart pounding in her chest. She bolted upright, her breath coming in short, panicked gasps, but when she looked again, Chidinma was gone. The experience left Nkechi rattled, and she could no longer dismiss these occurrences as mere hallucinations. During the day, things were not better. Objects in the house moved on their own, and the sense of unease permeated every room. Neighbors noticed Nkechi's growing paranoia and distant behavior, but she brushed off their concerns, attributing it to stress. One afternoon, as Nkechi was preparing lunch, she heard a familiar voice. It was Chidinma calling from the hallway. "Auntie Nkechi, I am hungry. Can you give me some food?" "Agụụ na-agụ m. Nye m nri ka m rie." Nkechi dropped the knife she was holding. Her hands trembling, she turned around, but the hallway was empty. The occurrences grew more frequent, and Nkechi's grip on reality began to slip. She became jumpy, reacting to every small sound. Sleep eluded her, and she became a shadow of her former self. The change in Nkechi did not go unnoticed by her neighbors. Neighbors and acquaintances began to speak in hushed tones about her erratic behavior. Nkechi, once known for her stern but composed demeanor, was now a figure of pity and concern. Elder Mrs. Adobe, a respected woman in the community, decided to pay Nkechi a visit. She had known Nkechi's family for years and felt a deep sense of duty to uncover the truth. "Nkechi, my dear, you don't look well," Mrs. Adobe said gently, placing a hand on Nkechi's arm. "What troubles you?" Nkechi, her eyes hollow and her face drawn, shook her head. "I am fine, Mama Adobe. Just tired, that's all." But Mrs. Adobe was not convinced. She had heard the whispers about Chidinma's disappearance and suspected there was more to the story. Determined to get to the bottom of it, she reached out to Mami Ifeoma in the village. Back in the village, Mami Ifeoma had been growing increasingly anxious. Chidinma's letter had stopped coming, and Nkechi's vague responses to her inquiries did nothing to ease her worries. When Mrs. Adobe's letter arrived, detailing the strange events and Nkechi's deteriorating condition, Mami Ifeoma's heart filled with dread. Without hesitation, she decided to travel to Onitsha. The journey was arduous, but Mami Ifeoma was driven by a mother's determination to uncover the truth about her child. She arrived at Nkechi's house and was shocked by what she saw. Nkechi was a shadow of her former self, her eyes sunken, her spirit broken. "Ifeoma, it's Chidinma," Nkechi whispered, her voice trembling. "She's haunting me. I see her everywhere. She's angry." Mami Ifeoma's heart broke at the sight of her sister's torment, but her primary concern was her daughter. "Where is Chidinma? What happened to her?" Nkechi's confession came in broken fragments. She admitted to exploiting Chidinma, forcing her to hawk oranges instead of sending her to school. The full weight of her guilt and the supernatural torment she has been enduring came pouring out. "I didn't know she would. I didn't think it would come to this," Nkechi sobbed. "She went missing, Ifeoma. I don't know what happened to her." Determined to find her daughter, Mami Ifeoma turned to the authorities. The police investigation that followed unearthed the tragic truth. The shallow grave was discovered in the compound where Chidinma had last been seen. The news of Chidinma's murder sent shockwaves through the community. The story of the innocent girl, exploited and untimely killed, ignited a wave of anger and sorrow. For Nkechi, The revelation was both release and a curse. The haunting presence of Chidinma intensified. Her spirit, no longer just a whisper in the night, but a relentless force. Chidinma's apparition followed Nkechi everywhere. Her voice, a constant reminder of her broken promises and the innocence she had destroyed. Nkechi's mind could no longer bear the weight of her guilt and the supernatural torment. She began to speak to herself, muttering apologies and desperate pleas for forgiveness. The community watched in pity as she descended further into madness. One fateful day, Nkechi's torment reached its peak. She was out in the market, her eyes darting around as if expecting Chidinma to appear at any moment. Shoppers and vendors gave her a wide berth, whispering among themselves about the mad woman. As Nkechi approached a busy street, she heard Chidinma's voice again, louder this time, almost desperate. "Auntie Nkechi, why did you do this to me? The voice echoed in her mind, driving her to the brink of insanity. In a frantic attempt to escape the haunting, Nkechi ran into the street, her mind clouded with fear and guilt. She didn't see the approaching vehicle until it was too late. The driver tried to swerve, but Nkechi was struck down, her body crumpling under the impact. The market fell silent, the shock of the scene gripping everyone's present. Nkechi lay motionless, her suffering finally at the end. The tragic end of Madam Nkechi served as a stark reminder of the consequences of the broken promises and cruelty. News of Nkechi's death spread quickly, and the community was left to grapple with the aftermath. The once vibrant house was now abandoned, a place of sorrow and haunting memories. Mami Ifeoma returned to the village, carrying with her the unbearable grief of losing her daughter and the knowledge of her sister's tragic end. In the village, Chidinma was mourned deeply. Her story became a poignant tale of innocence lost and the harsh realities faced by many young girls in search of a better life. The villagers held a memorial for Chidinma, honoring her short life and the dreams she never got to fulfill. Though Chidinma's spirit has exacted her revenge, she remained restless. The house in Onitsha, now vacant and overgrown, stood as a momentum to her suffering. However, with the passing of time and the collective mourning of the community, her spirit found a semblance of peace. Mami Ifeoma, in her grief, sought solace in her faith. She prayed for Chidinma's soul, asking for her forgiveness and eternal rest. In her dreams, she saw Chidinma not as a vengeful spirit, but as a bright and peaceful spirit.
This story is based on true events, though the names of the characters have been changed to protect their identities. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. Chidinma's tale, while deeply personal and tragic, highlights a broader issue that many children face. The moral of this story is a powerful reminder of several important lessons. First and foremost, it emphasizes the importance of keeping promises, especially those made to the young and vulnerable. It highlights the need for compassion and integrity in our interactions with others, particularly when entrusted with the care and future of a child. Exploitation and abuse have far-reaching consequences, not only for the victims but also for those responsible and the community at large. Additionally, this story underscores the importance of family planning. It reminds us that bringing children into the world comes with the responsibility to provide for their well-being.
Please subscribe, like, comment and share this video so that YouTube will show it to more people that needs it. Thank you.